There is a developing story concerning Manchester United's new signing Sofyan Amrabat, as it is being reported that Amrabat has been dropped from the Moroccan squad because of injury. He has been forced out of that squad that is going to be playing that game against Liberia because of injury. Now, this is a developing story that we will keep following, but it has just been broken just a few minutes ago. I've got an update as well concerning Jadon Sancho. The Saudi transfer window has closed, and Jadon Sancho is not moving a muscle. He's staying put at Manchester United. Sancho is still a red. Question is, will he be coming through to replace Anthony Dos Santos, who seems to be in trouble and might not be playing Manchester United football for quite some time, even when the international break ends? Or should it be Pelistri who comes in there and deputizes Anthony Dos Santos? We'll talk about that in a bit, but some quick updates concerning Manchester United players and how they have performed. 17 of them have been on international duty. I've told you that according to the latest report that is emerging, it is that Sofyan Amrabat is injured, and we are not yet sure of the magnitude of the injury, but we'll get the details as the day or night goes on. But Johnny Evans, an unexpected one of all. Johnny Evans was on the score sheet as North Ireland fell to Slovenia. Evans did score a goal. I would call it a consolation, but also Christian Eriksen was on target. He scored and recorded 2 assists as his Denmark did obliterate San Marino by 4 goals to nothing. In that game, Rasmus Højlund came off the bench but did not score. He had a close chance to goal, but he did not score. So Manchester United has been busy with some good, bad and very ugly news, because I'll tell you, if Sofyan Amrabat is injured, that is the most ugly news you will hear. But it begs the question, guys, are we cursed as a club if this is true? We brought Rasmus Højlund, injured, couldn't play a couple of games, comes in there, starts against Arsenal, makes his debut against Arsenal off the bench, but he's not the debut perhaps we hoped for. We were hoping we would get him earlier on in the season, but he came with a back injury. Now, there was talk about this injury with Sofyan Amrabat, but this talk was rebuffed, here and there. But as it is now, it seems it was serious. Remember, he was not training with Fiorentina before he bought him. He was training alone. He opted out of the team, and he had been reported, by the way, by then already, that he was injured. We refuted these allegations, but it seems he had an injury that was eating him up silently. And as it is, the Man United loanee is injured and out of the Moroccan team. Question is, for how long will that be? We will follow that story more. And people will talk about the curse. And I've got several Muslim friends of mine who keep telling me about the curse of riba and that debt that Manchester United is in, and how it is one of the reasons why we are struggling to get results. If you see things like this happening, you might want to start believing such things like the curse of riba. That is, it's something talked about in the Quran, the holy books. For those of you who believe in the Quran, I think if you want, you can relate, because what's happening to Manchester United, when we are having a youngster emerging, Kobe Maino, he gets injured and he's out for some time. Rasmus Højlund comes in, he's injured. Now Sofyan Amrabat is coming in. People are excited. Everyone is excited for how United will look after the international break. And it is being reported now that he's injured, also out because of injury. That would be sad. Now, guys, Jadon Sancho is not going to Saudi Arabia. There was interest in him from Saudi, but it has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano that he is not going. First of all, the Saudi transfer window has closed officially by midnight today. It was done and dusted, so he is staying put. There was talk of him being loaned to Borussia Dortmund. That as well is not happening. So, or should I say, we are lucky that he's here, or are we stuck with him, depending on how you look at it. But with Anthony most likely not going to be there to play for Manchester United, even when he returns from the international break, obviously, I think Jadon Sancho will come in handy. So I think this is the opportunity for him to show us what we bought, to show us the Sancho we bought in 2021 for lots of money from Borussia Dortmund. Sancho, who was scoring and assisting goals for fun, should be now hoping that this is the opportunity for him. Remember, he has got to have crunch talks with his boss and the technical team at Manchester United. It is not yet done with him and his behavior. There was talk of him having mental health issues from last season that United were not allowed to go public, with. But Ten Hag thinks he has been supporting him, so it's a bit of a tricky situation with Jadon Sancho, and I'm sure in due course, in a few days to come, we shall be getting to know more about his situation with his boss Erik Ten Hag, but also his future at the club, whether he's in the long-term plans of the whole technical team and the manager Erik Ten Hag, to be precise. So it's a difficult state for him, but it's a more difficult state for Manchester United. If Anthony is out because of the issues he's got, Sancho cannot deputize him, maybe because he has fallen out with the manager and whichever mental health issues he's suffering from. And then now you hear Sofyan Amrabat is injured, someone people have been excited to receive. I think that would just point to one thing, that we are looking like a doomed club. Doomed when you buy, doomed when you don't. What exactly does that mean? It is not a good place to be in if you do love this Manchester United. But that's where we are. That's the situation where we are. But it's nothing we can't get out of. It is nothing we can't get out of. We've got players nominated for the Ballon d'Or, including Rasmus Højlund, who is nominated, for the award of, the best young players. Those players, below the age of 21. Yeah, guys, the latest breaking is just joining is that Sofyan Amrabat has withdrawn from the Moroccan national team due to injury, and we'll get details of that story as we do go on. Tomorrow morning I will surely give you a quick detail on that story. Now, Lisandro Martinez, in another good story, the Argentine international, he's part of the Argentine team, but according to his coach, that is Lionel Scaloni, he says he's not going to risk him for their game, their next qualifier that they will be playing. So apparently he will not be risked. Probably it's a good thing for Manchester United as well, because remember, he did not finish the last game against Arsenal. It was said he was injured, but later it emerged he wasn't. But as it is, it seems he's not fully fit. He's not 100. That is why his boss Scaloni is saying he will not risk him. That is Lisandro Martinez. So again, that's where we are at as Manchester United. So yeah, it's an interesting situation. Of course, United players are continuing to trend. Christian Eriksen trending at #1 for his goal and 2 assists in that 4-0 obliteration of San Marino by his native Denmark. I feel like if we can get this Eriksen at Manchester United, we will be unplayable, because he's yet to give us that, probably at times because he's played a bit too deep. But I believe, with Mason Mount out and injured, soon we might be seeing some magic from Christian Eriksen in the next games to come. But guys, that's where we are. Manchester United, Johnny Evans is scoring as North Ireland is losing. Sofyan Amrabat is being ejected because of injury. He's out of the Moroccan squad. Jadon Sancho's future is seemingly decided because the Saudi transfer window is done, and he was never even going to move. Apparently, he was not interested in leaving and going to Saudi, so meaning we are stuck with him. Anthony's issues are re-emerging because there are reports suggesting that apparently Brazilian media did report that the allegations against him now are not the first of a kind. Apparently, he's in the habit of mistreating his girlfriends. How? We don't know what more we're about to hear concerning Anthony Dos Santos, but that's where we are. Troubled player as well. So guys, it's not all rosy at Manchester United, but what's good though is we will be here to follow each story if you do subscribe to the Hotspot. My name is Webb. I'll leave it at that, and I will be catching you a little bit later with more updates concerning Manchester United and everything that's happening at the club.